And it looked like Adam Silver is forced to speak out against Kathy Engelbert and the current dismemberment.
So this whole thing about her relationship with the players, it's bad. Honestly, the WNBA is really struggling without Caitlin Clark right now. Things have just gone totally wild. We're seeing a shocking drop in everything. I'm talking ratings, ticket sales, viewership, and the big worry, a lockout is right around the corner. The league desperately wants to get this sorted. So finally, Adam Silver has actually responded, promising he'll fix this whole mess.
Silver stated, "They're not just economic, there's relationship issues as well." He stated, "I'm confident we can fix those over time and this league can continue to be the rocket trajectory that is on right now."
But here's the kicker. Kathy is actually refusing to step down. So what do you even think is going to happen here? Are they seriously going to fire Kathy Engelbert and really protect Caitlin Clark? Or is this just another round of false hope for the fans? Let us know what you think down in the comments.
Now, it's crazy because we do know, all right? We do know Adam Silver is the one that's in charge. Like, he big boss, all right? He hired Kathy. And people are questioning too, is Kathy getting some demands from Adam? Or is Adam just allowing her to do what she wants to do?
Okay, it's not an exaggeration to say the WNBA is going through its toughest time ever. What's happened these last few days has been an absolute roller coaster. But in the middle of all this chaos, finally, someone is stepping up. Adam Silver himself. Yep, the NBA commissioner just broke his silence. And his comments? Man, they sound really calm on the surface. But trust me, if you listen closely, there's a serious storm brewing behind every single word.
So Thanos finally stepped out and started talking about the crazy nonsense of a civil war that's going on between Iron Man or Iron Woman, Kathy Engelbert, and Captain America, Nafisa Collier.
He pretty much said that they're going to get a deal done, no matter what. He also mentioned that it's important to listen to what the players are asking for and make sure this new CBA actually happens.
Stated Adam Silver on WNBA labor dispute, "We will get a deal done."
Sounds nice, right?
But seriously, come on. Are we really supposed to believe this will all just happen after the huge mess we've seen? And here's the part that literally made everyone burst out laughing. You cannot make this stuff up. He actually called Kathy Engelbert's time as commissioner historic growth for the WNBA.
At the same time, Kathy Engelbert has presided over 6 years of some of the strongest growth we've not only seen in the WNBA, but any sports league in history. Ooh, so he's giving her big props, all right?
Are you kidding me right now? Historic growth? When the WNBA Finals arenas look half empty? When the players are turning against their own commissioner? Yeah, that's historic. All right? Just definitely not in the way he meant it, you know?
Adam Silver stated, "Kathy Engelbert has proceeded over historic growth." See, now y'all trying to, Adam, don't do it. Don't do it, Adam. Adam, please don't do this.
Now, let's dig a bit deeper into what else Silver said. He did admit there are some relationship issues with the players. But honestly, that's like saying the Titanic had a tiny little water problem, right? No kidding, Adam. The whole league is practically on fire, and you're just calling this a growing pain.
Goes on to say there's no question that the WNBA is going through growing pains, and it's unfortunate that it's coming just as their most important games in the finals are.
Okay, so now here's what he said about the WNBA Finals. He wants to celebrate them. But seriously, celebrate what? A finals without Caitlin Clark, the player who basically carried the league's popularity all season long, all by herself? You can't really celebrate something when half the fans have already just turned it off, can you?
Now Silver stated, he stated, "We've had 2 fantastic games so far and want to celebrate the game at the moment. And then we've got to sit down with the players and negotiate a new collective bargaining agreement." Bro, I'm telling you right now, I don't believe they get a deal done.
Now look, Silver is definitely trying to sound like the big hero coming in to fix absolutely everything. But is he really going to be able to pull this off? And what he said about Kathy, it makes it sound like he's not even considering getting rid of her. Just imagine that. He's saying this at a time when every single WNBA fan, every player, and every coach is practically screaming for her to step down.
But I feel like at this point, she gonna have to step down. Stephen A. Smith said it last week, and I'm saying it right now. She gonna have to shake. But whatever the case may be, she's making no set choices or chances of her leaving. She made it clear during Friday press conference that she's here to stay for whatever reason.
Now let's just face it, the WNBA's problems aren't only about money. They're about trust. They're about leadership. They're about vision. And right now, none of that stuff really exists. So here's the truth. Even though Adam Silver says he's super confident a deal will happen and that he'll get all the players to happily come back and play next season, if you actually look closely at what's really going on behind the scenes, it's telling a totally different story.
To me, I think it's just a misfortune. You know, it's just a misfortune of a situation. And they're going to have to fix it, bro. Like, this whole thing going to have to get fixed with Kathy.
I'm talking about the ticking bomb that's literally sitting right under the WNBA's leadership, the lockout. And no, this isn't just some rumor being thrown around to get attention. It is completely real. Every single day that goes by, it's just getting closer and closer. Because when you look at what's actually happening behind the scenes, this deal isn't moving forward at all. It's stuck, completely jammed up. And honestly, it's really hard to see how it's going to get fixed anytime soon.
I don't believe they get a deal done. I don't believe they get a deal done at all.
And let's just start with the biggest issue, right? Money. You see, the players are demanding to see the actual numbers. Yeah, they want to know exactly how much the league makes from sponsorships, from TV deals, from merchandise, literally everything.
And we all know about the financial things that the league, they won't, the players can't even negotiate properly because they don't know how much money the league's making. They don't even have a bargaining chip. They just, they don't know. And that's probably their biggest bargaining chip is well, we actually can't negotiate here because you aren't telling us how much money we're making, or you aren't showing.
They want detailed breakdowns showing where the money is being made or lost, because right now they're getting less than 10% of the total revenue. Seriously, compare that to the NBA's 50%. And come on, you can see the problem, right? But here's where it just gets absolutely ridiculous. The league doesn't even want to open their books. They're basically just saying, hey, trust us.
The players want the league to give them data proving those revenue benchmarks haven't been met. That's where the trust started to break down. One league source said, you want to call them greedy and unreasonable, but you won't give them the data.
Well, good luck with that, right? Because, let's be honest, the players don't even trust their own commissioner right now. They literally want to get her out of there. So what kind of trust are we even talking about? And then comes the most complicated part. Just think about it. The entire financial engine of this league is basically running on just a few names. We're talking Caitlin Clark, and maybe 2 or 3 other players. That's it. They're the ones pulling in the ratings, selling all the tickets, keeping the lights on. The rest, most fans couldn't even name half the roster without looking it up on Google. And now, those players are asking for pay raises across the board. Sounds fair, but seriously, where's that money supposed to come from? Because the league is saying they can't afford that without totally going broke.
According to sources on both sides of CBA negotiations, under the current CBA, players don't get additional revenue sharing. 9% opposed to 49 to 51% in the WNBA until the league has generated a certain level of revenue, which it says it has yet to do after decades of multi-million-dollar losses at the franchise and league level. Why would they get what the NBA gets? The WNBA doesn't own 100% of the league. So if you get 50% of 50%, that's 25%. Why would WNBA owners agree to only 25%? They wouldn't.
So what happens now? If they raise salaries, they completely break the system. But if they don't, they break whatever little trust is left. Either way, it's a lose-lose situation. But here's another major shock for the WNBA leadership. Nneka Ogwumike just canceled her meeting with Kathy Engelbert. And when you see that, you're not just looking at Nneka versus Kathy, you're seeing the WNBA versus Unrivaled. Yeah, that's how incredibly serious this whole thing is getting now.
Now, Kathy was trying to meet with Napheesa Collier, right? She was trying to meet with her, but she ended up canceling that meeting. Now, I can't hold y'all. Canceling that meeting, I didn't get a chance to talk about it, but that make her look a little suspicious, all right? That make her look a little suspicious. Why are you canceling that meeting if the main thing you want to do right now is negotiate?
But in the middle of all this, Adam Silver still says he's confident a deal will happen. And honestly, everyone is just sitting there wondering, confident in what exactly? Because from where we're standing, it looks like the players are done talking. The league is totally out of excuses, and this deadline is about to just explode. If this deal isn't done by the end of the month, seriously, stop kidding yourself. The lockout won't be a warning anymore. It'll be completely inevitable. And if that happens, you know what it means for the league's future. But if you really want to see what the WNBA's future might actually look like if all this chaos keeps going, just take a good look at the finals. Yeah, the same league that finally had everyone talking, that finally had some real momentum, is now collapsing just 2 seasons later.
Do you think the players know that if there is effectively no 2026 season, the WNBA as we knew it is dead? Folks, it took 27 years for the WNBA to finally get a respectable audience. And in a matter of 2 seasons, they're about to lose said respectable audience.
Because, let's be real here, the WNBA Finals were supposed to be the biggest event of the entire year. Aces versus Mercury, Aja Wilson against Dewana Bonner. It was supposed to be the battle of the best. But what did we actually get? Rows and rows of empty seats, and tickets selling for basically the price of a burger.
The reason ticket prices were so low for Game 1 last night, there is a complete lack of interest in this series. And the reason there's a complete lack of interest is because there are no stars.
I'm not even kidding you right now. Some finals tickets were going for $6.60. That's less than your morning coffee. How in the world do you call that historic growth? This is the finals, not some discount movie night. And when you look around those half-empty arenas, you just can't help but think one thing. This isn't just a finals problem. This is a Caitlin Clark problem. Because let's be honest, the league's entire surge in attention, all the buzz, it came directly from her. She was the spark. She was the reason people actually tuned in. And without her, the energy is just gone. The ratings are dropping. The buzz is dying out. And even the so-called best players can't even fill the stands anymore.
I thought WNBA players were claiming that they're the reason business is booming. Caitlin Clark isn't responsible for our growth. The WNBA is more than just one player.
And that's the truly scary part. If this is what the finals look like right now, just imagine what's going to happen if there's a lockout. If the 2026 season just doesn't happen at all, do you really think fans are going to stick around after that? They won't. They'll just move on to something else. And when that happens, it's basically game over for the league.
Do you think people are going to tune back in after taking a year off from watching WNBA basketball? Do you think people are going to be putting WNBA viewing as their priority above NFL, above college football, above Major League Baseball, above tennis, above golf? Do you think that's still going to be the case if there's no 2026 season?
So here's exactly where we stand. Adam Silver is trying to calm this whole storm down. Kathy Engelbert is basically hanging by a thread. And the WNBA, it's walking straight toward a lockout. The finals arenas are empty. The fans are totally frustrated, and the league's biggest star isn't even on the court. If this isn't a massive warning shot for the leadership, then I seriously don't know what is. Now, if you want to stay updated on what happens next, make sure you hit that subscribe button and share this video, because things are about to get a whole lot louder.